Everyone has a story in them, but turning it into an actual bestseller can feel like a dream. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to go from idea to bestseller, and we're going to give you a step-by-step guide for inspiring authors. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Sharlrita Deloatch, and on this channel, I talk about how to turn your skills into cash by providing passive income tips for writers, publishers, creators, as well as authors. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell so when I upload a new video, you will be the first to know. Let's get into today's content. First off, you have to start off with the idea, the concept. Okay. So you got to have the concept, which you probably already do, but you want to refine it. So this is going to take you to doing some research, to doing some brainstorming, where you actually have to sit down and come up with the strategy and how you are going to write this book. Now, this is going to differ dependent on the genre you are writing in. So, if you're going to write a romance book, that's going to look a little bit more different if you're writing a nonfiction book versus a children's book. Okay, so long as you identify the genre, what type of book you want to write, then you can start brainstorming, looking at the content you already have, because maybe you can repurpose content you have, brainstorming using some mind maps, maybe some sit down and do some character development exercises if you're going to write a fiction book. But you actually have to sit down and write it out, your concept and where you want to go. Okay. Even from the idea phase, you got to know who you're writing to. So who's the target person or persons that you are writing to? That goes along with the genre. All right. So if you're going to write a book, a romance book, so your that romance book may be for the stay-at-home mom or the stay-at-home wife, or married woman. You can gear towards that audience, but you have to know who it is for. Okay. But here's another thing that I want to conscious you or ask you to do as well when you're coming up with your idea. Go on to Amazon. Okay. Amazon is my favorite place to do research. I love to publish my books there, but I also love to do research. Go on to Amazon and see what books are similar in your genre so you can identify those marketing maps. Now, it's not marketing maps, marketing gaps. Okay. So if you're writing a romance novel, see what's already out there. Look at the reviews, look at the cover, look to see what people are saying about the book. How can you take your idea and come from a different angle? This is not about copying someone else. This is all about you coming from an angle that's authentic to you, but also that's going to resonate with your audience. Okay. Next, we're going to build this blueprint. Now we're going to write the book. Now, this is the hard part. This is the part where many people get stuck, but the best place for you to start is with that outline. You need to have an outline. Having an outline for your book and will help you when it comes to the writing. And also, it's going to help you to know what to put in that book and what not to put in that book. Okay. So give yourself grace and time around the outline when it comes to outlining your book. Now, there are many tools out there that you can use to help you with the outlining. You can take advantage or leverage AI. So you have Gemini.com, you have ChatGPT.com, you even have, there's another writing tool out there as well. Of course, I have some links in the description. You can check those out, see which one works for you. Okay. But you can use a writing tool to help you out if you're in a phase you're like, I don't know what to do, like where to start with the writing. Start with the outline. Okay. Then I want you to develop your writing process. Now, for me, I can write a book in less than 30 days. It takes me less than 30 days to write a book, sometimes less. Um, More so because I can write a book and publish a book in about 30 days. But you are different from me. So check out, look at your realistic expectations, look at your goals, look at your routine. How are you going to get this book written? You may can write your book for an hour a day, maybe an hour a week. But if you decide to do an hour a week, make sure that you have the expectation that, hey, now, of course, you're not going to be able to publish that book in 30 days, but you may at least get it written in 30 days. Maybe that's your goal. If your goal is to get it written in 30 days, kind of estimate how many words that you want your book to be. Okay. A good size book is 100 pages or less. That I write 100 pages or less books, and I can normally, with those type of books, get at least a chapter done. So I can, that book can be at least what, 10,000, it may be more than about 10 to 15,000 words. But if you want to go a little bit more, know that you can divide that by the 30 days and make a commitment to yourself with, hey, I'm going to write or I'm going to type 1,000 words per day or per week until I get this book done. But make sure that you understand your routine and how you are going to get your book written. Okay, there's many different plans that you can follow. A lot of people on here on YouTube you can follow about writing their book, but you do it according to your goals, number one, and you do this according to your capacity. Okay, go ahead, if you're writing like a fiction book, go ahead and start character development so you can make sure you know who's going to be in your book. If you got to build the suspense, you got the conflict, you got the resolution when it comes to those type of books. Okay, so like I said, it's going to look a little bit different than writing a nonfiction book is what I write. So I write nonfiction like business books, self-help business books, women books to help you to grow your business, your publishing company, writing books, publishing stuff. That's what I write about in marketing. So for me, it takes me less than 30 days to get that done because more than likely I probably have content already in my arsenal. So I'm taking video content, getting it transcribed, turning those bad boys into books. Okay. So that's the route that I am going. Okay. Now, if you're still with me, let me know in the comments that you are still with me, but make that commitment to yourself to get your book written. Okay. Next, it's time to go to publication. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Okay. The very first part of the publishing process, when it's time, you already got it written, is now time to get it edited. Let me tell you, the editing is going to be the most longest, excruciating, and the most expensive if you're self-publishing. Okay, just to give you an alarm. It's going to be the most expensive, it's going to be the longest, and it's going to be the part of the book publishing process that you're going to feel like you need to take your hair out. But this is where you're going to be tested, and you have to stick with the process. There, you may be the best writer, and I feel like I'm a pretty good writer, but even in the editing process, I have to go through at least 2 to 3 rounds of editing. Okay. Now there are different types of editing. You have like your developmental editing. That editing is more extensive, especially if you're writing a fiction book. So that's really extensive. That's like the character plotting where somebody is going through to make sure that it makes sense. You got line editing when someone goes through your book line by line. Now, I do copy editing. Copy editing is basically is the editing before the proofreading. Okay, you shouldn't just do proofreading, which is the last one, but the copy editing is the grammar, to making sure that it flows, to making sure, to making sure that it flows, to making sure that you got punctuations where they're supposed to. It's more so with grammar. Okay. Now, if you are a new writer and you're thinking that your book may be all over the place, you're going to need a developmental editor. Okay, that's going to be the most expensive. Okay, it's going to be the most expensive is a developmental editor. And let me show you guys a little show and tell here. Like, for instance, one of my favorite sites to use for editing is BookBaby. Okay, I love BookBaby's editing. Why? Because I love their process. They have a really easy process when it comes to editing books. And yes, it could be a lot expensive. However, I just rather take my a book to someone that they're very professional. So I love Book Baby. Okay. So I'll link them down below and you can check them out. But they do the line editing, they do the copy editing, the proofreading, they do the book synopsis editing as well, and query letter editing. If you're not familiar with query letter, that's if you are wanting to have your book traditionally published and you have to have a query letter. You can have that. They edit those as well. So let's go into line editing, right? Which is probably the most expensive. You will see when it comes to editing, there's line editing and then there is developmental editing. They're about the same kind of. It just all depends on your genre. Okay, so when you are looking for an editor for your book, be very specific. If you know you are a new writer, it's your first time writing a book, get a line editor or a developmental editor. Okay. You can go on places like Upwork, which I believe is the best, or come here to Book Baby to get that done. Okay. So let's say we choose line editing. Choose your book genre. The great thing about Book Baby is that they edit different genres. So fiction and nonfiction, religious, children's, cookbook, art and photography, science fiction, business, academic, magazines, and booklets. Okay. So let's say with myself, I got business and how to, and then you can enter the number of pages that you have. Okay. So enter in the number of pages that you have. It's going to scan it anyway once you put this through. So make sure you put the correct amount of pages. So let's say I have 100 pages. The it's going to cost $1,000. Okay. It's going to cost $1,000. Now, great thing for me, I don't really need that, so I always get the copy editing. Okay, it's a little bit more cheaper. That's 700. Okay, and if proofreading is going to be the bottom of the barrel, proofreading is what you get done before you go to publishing. Okay, do not just get proofreading, especially if you're a new writer. Do not just get proofreading. Go ahead and bite the bullet and go ahead and pay for the editing. Okay, if you feel like it's going to hurt you, it's you can make the money back. Okay, with strategies in place, you can make the money back, and that's how you have to think of it. And plus, you want to invest in yourself. You want to invest in your book. You want to invest so your audience get a quality book. Okay, so those are the different prices. I just want to give you just an example when it comes to editing. All right, so let's continue on. When you are on the road to publication, you are editing. Once after you get the editing done, then this is where you can start working on the cover design. All right, so getting someone to design your cover. This is also the portion of the publishing where you go get your ISBN number. Okay, you can go to Bonkers, BOWKER.com. Get your ISBN number. This is a part of the process where you are also, after the editing is completed, you got to edit it, you got to format it. No, I'm sorry, you got to edit it and you got to proofread it. Then it goes to formatting. Formatting is just to make your book look like a book. It goes from looking like a Google Doc to really looking like a nice book so it can be printed. Okay. So again, between the time and the editing, give yourself 30 to 45 days at the least, depending on how many pages you have and what type of book. Give yourself that space for the editing portion. Okay, probably even up to 60 days. Give yourself that space. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to rush the editing part. Please don't try to rush your editors. That's the most significant part, because once you go to formatting, okay, and some editors, some proofreaders may proofread it after it has been formatted, but make sure they get a PDF file when it comes to the proofreading. But when it comes to the formatting, once it's done, it's done. Any mistakes that you want to change, some formatters may make a couple of changes for you, not major changes. They make a couple of changes for you. But if you decide you want to make major changes, you're going to have to get it reformatted and they're going to charge you. Okay. So I just want to give you a heads up, especially on this road to publishing. Okay. So right after we are it publishing, we getting those things down. We're going to really rev it up in our marketing. Okay, this is where you have to understand with your marketing. This is why you have to know your audience and who you're marketing to. Building your online presence, which your marketing really should be done during this process. Okay, this is what I used to tell authors that listen, while you are going through the process, build your email list, rev up your audience, make some noise, especially like on social media, to let people know, hey, I have a book coming out. If your book is with the editor, showcase that. Say, hey, my book is with the editor, or I just got my book back. I'm super excited. I made a lot of mistakes, So when you grab people and go on the journey with you, you're going to find your tribe, and you're going to find people that are very, very interested in you and buying your book. In 2024, this is the year of the personal brand. And I'm not coining that because I've seen a lot of brand specialists to say that. If you are revving up your brand by writing a book, you're already the forefront of that brand. So you got to show up powerfully, because writing a book is a powerful thing. I don't care what genre it is. You are a special type of person when you write a book, because now you have become the 3%, because everybody wants to write a book. Everybody talks about writing a book. Everybody says they have a story, but not everybody puts it out there. So because you're the one that put it out there, you're going to go to the 3%, baby. Okay. You're going to be in the 3%. So go ahead and make some noise about it. Make some noise about your work. People are not going to be excited about your work unless you are. If you are not, they will not, because why would they care? Okay. While you're building up your social media platform, go ahead and start getting your book promotions ready, get book reviews, get you some beta readers. Okay. Beta readers. Okay. These are your family, maybe your friends. This is how your family and friends can participate and help you. Ask them to read your book. Ask them to give you a review. You can use those reviews to put them on the inside of the book, on the cover, put them some in the back of the book, on the front of the cover, on the back of the cover. There's different ways you can use reviews. You can also use those reviews on social media to help you to gain more book sales. Okay, so make sure of that. Also, this is going to be the time where you can start booking for podcasts, going live, really, really showing up online, because online is really going to be the cream. Okay, the cream when it comes to your book, especially in the marketing. All right. Now let's go beyond the bestseller list. So you published a book, you got some sales. Now this is where a lot of authors stop, but this is where you're not going to stop. This is where you have to continue on with the journey as an author. This is where you have to continue on to sell your book. Could do some continuous learning. You can learn more about book marketing. Okay, I have resources in my down in my description, because I have an academy just for those that are writing and publishing books. You can join that academy, because you can learn how to do that. Start building your community, your readers, and figuring out, hey, what can I do next? Or how much income, or what other type of income or streams of income I can create beyond this book. So maybe I wrote a book about taking care of your pets. So how can you go beyond that book? Maybe you can host a class for pet owners in your city. Maybe you can take that book and you can send it to different pet stores and see how you can get some deals with the pet store. So think about how you can get your book into more hands and more people when it comes to your book. Okay. So I hope that this video helped you to give you that game plan when it comes to your book, that you are able to take plenty of notes. Go ahead and rewind if you need to, but this is the basics when it comes to you going from idea and going to full on publishing and going beyond that bestseller list. Okay. So again, I have a lot of a lot of resources down in the description. I have an academy. If you want to join the academy about writing and publishing your book, it's called Power Publishing Secrets Academy. My mini membership, get access to that. You get all resources. We have a monthly Q&A as well. So that right there can be your community where you can get the additional training and help that you need when it comes to your writing and publishing your book. I also have a lot of resources on where you can publish your book because there's many different publishing platforms. So I go over that and which ones to use and where to get your book printed, all of that great stuff. Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video. Going over to the next video that will help you on your author journey. Until the next time, we will see you on the other side. Bye.